Welcome back, you beautiful people. Sorry about the slight delay of getting back onto the old Rimworld. It was a pretty crazy weekend, that is for sure. So I ended up meeting Michael Owen and Zoe Deschanel as well. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. All by chance, nothing to do with anything else, just happened to bump into them. Didn't get the selfie with Michael Owen, unfortunately, but it was my mate Stag Do, so being the good guy that I am, I set my mate up with a selfie of Michael Owen. So that's a story and a half right there. Good fun. Anyway, so end of last episode, we ended up annoying the security force. Now the security force just so happens to be about the toughest, most dangerous faction that I've come across in Rimworld. Now, Void is super dangerous. You cannot underestimate Void by any means, but Void is balanced in the sense that they expect you to be able to hold against Void, whereas you're not meant to have beef with the security force, and so therefore fighting the security force gets pretty brutal. So all of them can respawn, so once you kill them they can come back. They've got like this lightning attack, so they're always like calling down lightning. Their shields are insane, their guns are mental, and basically they're super dangerous. And just trying to get through their shields, like we saw in last episode, yeah, that is not particularly easy. Anyway, Paddock is super recreation deprived and is quite hungry, so we're going to let him sleep for a little bit. Then he's going to get up, then he's going to eat, and then hopefully have some recreation, and with that we'll then go off and trade with the old Krogans, because we got all of this stuff and those are not really things that we want. Okay, drinking emergency food, interesting. Well, we'll let him eat and then we'll get to the trading. Unfortunately, the traders do only have 5,067 silver, which still is not going to be bad, but we would like to sell some more stuff, that is for sure. So what we got? We got light leather, we had some insect, so we got what? Genetic warrior material, genetic drone material, nothing we're going to use. We haven't got much in the way of the old steel, which is a bit of a shame. And let's go here. We don't want the psychic animal pulsar. We don't really need that, that just insta-grows your crops. Psychic animal trainer, not interested. Psychic inspirator, that actually might be quite useful. Psychic stasis lance, don't need. Animal tamers, we don't need. Jetpacks, not going to be using, but we do want the Polaris block archives. That unlocks some pretty good research. Now, as for side trainers, not interested in side trainers. So where are we going down to? Just here. Then we're going to have some shooting, artistic, cooking, plants, more shooting. We've got the Slayer's marks, which is going to sell for a very nice amount. Gastro analyzer will help with cooking. Cadian half cycler. No, we're not interested in that. Tough skin gland we might keep. We'll keep the cortical stacks because I do have a plan. Insectoid arms, you can definitely have those. The claw, you can have. The researcher implants are ours. Architect arm is something that we're definitely going to be keeping. And I got a little bit carried away there. They do not have nearly enough for us to sell them all of this goodies. Okay, let me just work something out. Okay, so we'll just take Wall Rise off and sell that. And a cheeky 5 grand right there. Well, just shy of 5. Which is alright for us. Do you know what? I'm not even mad. Oh yeah, then we've got all the muffalos, which is going to be a decent amount of meat. And then the corpses are going to be for the doges. Actually, let's go have a little look. Yeah, look at that. That's we nearly doubled in wealth just from that. Not quite a double, but close. We might be in a bit of trouble. They did manage to take out pretty much all of the turrets. We are running low on steel, like it was said. But I think Paddock's pretty beast. We do need some more recreation variation. So what we might do... Yeah, I like the idea of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're actually going to put them here. With all of those in place, what we're going to do with this area is this is going to be our rec room. Now, it's not going to be the biggest rec room, and it's definitely not going to be the best rec room. And okay, put some weapons cabinets in there by accident. Cool. not a biggie. Move these in. And yeah, this is going to be the rec room here. With that, we're going to be able to put some more stuff in it. So he's going to have a bit more recreational variation. And with that as well, let's actually put in... Yeah, let's put this steel sculpture there. And it was pointed out that if we tunnel under the mountain a little bit, we take the sarcophagus. Found the sarcophagus, cool. So the sarcophagus is there, which means that we can bring John Dunn back. You know, if you play Mass Effect, you know, for a Spectre, he doesn't do so well. And when you're under mind control, you're probably not going to do too well either. But, like in the game, he was a bit of a trier. And it is not going to be perfect, but we are just going to turn the research lab into stockpile zone 3. Just so we can get this stuff outside in. Because once it starts deteriorating, if we use it, it's not a problem if it deteriorates, because, well, realistically, once it's installed, it being at say 90% doesn't make a difference, or 50 or 60%. But when you're selling it, it does. Now this will bring down our wealth by a decent amount leaving it outside. But do you know what we'd rather do? We'd rather sell it. And when we sell it, we can get some more power armor. And with more power armor, we can prevent the fate of John Dunn. Or even better, we get a mech resurrector serum and then a whole bunch of power armor, put John Dunn into it and let him exact his revenge. On a side note, because I keep getting distracted, Mass Effect 4 has been announced as well, which could be quite interesting. I'm not too interested in replaying like the original 3, because yeah, Andromeda, man, that just killed the Mass Effect universe for me. That really, really did. I'm not sure how they thought that was a finished game. That definitely needed like another 4 months worth of work, and then I reckon it would have been good. But details. Anyway, Mass Effect 4 though, that should be pretty interesting. And it's meant to be a direct sequel as well. We have a weaponsmith coming on from Orlor Empire, so hopefully we can shift a bunch more of this garbage. Well, a lot of it's not garbage, a lot of it's actually super high-end kit, which we have absolutely no use for right now. Shotgun, obviously we don't want those melee weapons, we're probably never going to use. Frontier rifles, actually surprisingly good. LMG, not very good. Shotgun, we don't want. Keep the battle rifle, they can have the excellent rocket launcher. Sell those poor sculptures. And let's sell the normal one. Okay, don't want a massive amount, unfortunately. But that's still another 1,121. Which, with all that we have now, that should be nearly enough to call a slaver ship, buy a slave, and then equip them. And if we get really lucky, we might get an exotic good trader whom has a mechanite resurrector serum. If we get really lucky, there might be an exotic good trader that sells a mechanite resurrector serum. This might actually be super useful. So we've got Dopop coming. So he is a Solarian, 17, so he's only about halfway through his lifespan, which is pretty good, but has a double burning passion in cooking. Now he's only got 6 out of 20, so food poisoning's a realistic chance, but not a mass one. Then he can also do crafting, double burning passion, with artistic of 10 and a medical of 8, which means that we can start equipping Paddock up with some bionic parts, which is going to be super sweet. Now let's actually have a look at his gear. He does have an alpaca wool parka, really difficult to set at the same time, it turns out, which gives him actually 56 against cold, which is super good, and a bunch of other kit. Now what we are going to do, because he's only got 3 hours left, which I don't think is going to be enough time for Paddock to go pick him up and heal him, and have a little look at gear. And of course Paddock has dropped the medical kits, why would he not? So anyway, we're going to equip some medical kits, go over, fix him up, and maybe somehow try to get him to join us. Paddock has the medical kits, and bled out before we could get there. Shame. Really regretting not having that wall there now. That would have made such a difference. Yeah, we need to definitely get that sorted, because I reckon we could have got him. Now, Paddock doesn't have the best medical, so it's only a 6.69, so there's no guarantee that even if we got there we would have been able to heal him. Solarians are super weak, super squishy, and bleed out very, very quickly. And wait, have we got more puppies now? So we've got 5 retrievers. Okay, yeah, so we've got 2 puppies. That's cool. We'll go ship them off at some point when we actually get the tech. And going around here, we're doing okay, I guess. Not great. We definitely need somebody else. Now, Paddock is decent. He really is. He is very good. However, just from the amount of stuff that he has to do by himself, it is taking quite a while. So this rec room here hasn't even really been done. He moved a couple blocks, but that's because I had to like manually get him to do it. Hopefully we'll get onto that soon, and then we've also got all the steel down here that needs mining, so that we can get back to this bit, so we can actually get some turrets online. If we just had one more person, it would make a massive difference. We did have Wanderer join, but he really did live up to his name, so we're going to let him go. We're not even going to strip his kit because we have too much stuff already. And going to that part of the map, we realised that there is still a bunch more stuff that we need. And I seem to remember making a joke about saying that we needed those pallets to be able to store all the stuff that we got from Security Force. And we had just left it outside. However, off the back of it, we also have a bulk goods trader. These guys seem pretty well equipped as well. Bunch of doggos. Not that we really got much use for them. And our wall got taken out along there. Oh, of course it did. So this is something else that we're going to need to patch up. Paddock should be able to catch up with them. We go trade. We can sell some of this stuff off over here. Even though we have a whole bunch of skill trainers, I am thinking it might be worth keeping hold of them. Just for when we get someone else. We could get someone that's not particularly good, but we're definitely going to be able to train them up quite quickly. I don't think Paddock's going to make it. Come on, Paddock. You got this. He ain't got this. Shame. Yeah, but if we keep hold of those skill trainers, then even if they're not particularly good or don't have burning passions or whatever, we can train them pretty much into whatever we need them to be. And that might be a good shout. As we have the comms console up, I think it is time to call a slave ship. With the slave ship, well, the plan is to buy another Solarian, which they do not have. Amazing. But can we sell anything off? We'll keep the Inspirator, Tranquility Lance, they can have. All the rounds are ours. Invisibility, they can have. We want to keep the cooking, artistic and shooting, because we said about it earlier. We found a Glock 9 in a transport pod. We've got a whole bunch of clothes that we don't want, though maybe we want to keep a hold of them. That would not make much of a difference to the heat. That's a bit of a shame. Was kind of hoping for a little bit more. So we called in a second slave ship, and this is not too bad. Careful shooter, not a fan of. I think it's one of the worst traits in the game because it absolutely nukes out your DPS. Cold tolerant, that's fine. Rowdy, not great. Hardy is good. Iron Willed is good, but not as good when they have Rowdy. And then they're also a Pyromaniac, which also isn't very good. However, they can do medical, which we need, and they can do intellectual, and if we have anyone that needs to be captured and recruited, they can do social. So what I think we're going to do is have them on cleaning, and then secondary we'll have them on intellectual. I think they'll tie us over for a while, but they're not, it's not a bad spread. Obviously there are a bunch of things they can't do, but we can get someone else for that. So let's go get them. They are 2,000 and there are no Solarians. They can have the Go Juice though, and yeah, I would call that pretty good. So the way we have them set up is they're going to Doctor on one, Warden on one, Clean on one, and then Research on one as well. This way at least we can get them sorting some stuff out whilst they're doing other stuff, which for us is going to be wicked. We've just had a metals trader come through. Now we don't have a massive amount of silver left anymore, and they're not really willing to buy anything that we have, so in that sense we're not going to be able to get too much. But we are already running super low on our old components, so I think we pick up 20 of those, And I would like to buy some steel, but I don't think steel is really going to be worthwhile. Just for the simple fact we still have a whole bunch of it on the map. We've still got some stuff over here that we should be mining. But rebuilding these turrets costs quite a lot of resources. And we also got some cats, but I am not a cats person. So, no more cats. But Polaris Block has come in, and Polaris Block normally has some good stuff. So we will pick up the Restful Sleep Releaser just because Solarians already have the Restful trait because they're 400% sleeping, which is mental. So we can use that to then take a bunch of negative perks off Dark Art. I think that's how you said it. And then also sell off like the skill trainers that we don't need. Well, the psi trainers. Not a massive fan of them. I keep saying that. That's because I don't use psychic powers. But what we do want to see is if they have any goodies. But right now it is not looking like they have anything that we want. We will sell them the chitin or the chitin depending. So it cost us 106, and with this we are going to be able to stop Dark Heart burning down the base, which I think to me seems very worthwhile. And with some absolute perfect timing, a door-to-door seller from the UAC is coming in. Hopefully they have some kit that we can buy, but before you do that, I need you. Well, you're not Dop off, you're Man off. Cool. My bad. Anyway, someone wants to name him. That is up for grabs. For some reason I was thinking it's the other guy. I look like a fool right then. And are you any good? Do you have anything that I'd want to take? Nope. We'll leave you to die and then feed you to the doggos. Okay, so remove a trait. We want Rowdy gone. No, stop running away, come back. Oh, nearly added Rowdy back on. And we want Pyromaniac removed. And once more, we are going. So cold tolerant, that's fine. Iron Wield's good. And we're going to remove Careful Shooter, which I think is a terrible trait. And then Panic's going to go off to the UAC and hopefully be able to get some power armor. So, wow. So we have 9,925 silver, which is a lot more than I thought, but that's because we really aren't moving stuff around. And we've already used 11 of those components, so let's go grab, say another 20. It's only 1,000, I'm sure we will survive. They can have the skill trainer back, so that's a Careful Shooter, so we're only cost us 1,000 because we can make 500 back on it. So Restore Lance, no thank you. These we need, we've already gone over those. You can have the Tranquility, keeping all of these. You can have the insect stuff that we don't want. And they are selling the UAC Heavy Cannon. Now the Heavy Cannon is similar to the Assault Rifle, but it shoots a lot more shots and has better range, similar cooldown, similar warm-up, similar reload, but minus 2.52 movement speed. We can live with that, especially if you're shooting 50 BMG at whatever's charging you. You are not going to be in for a bad time. Things that we do want, we do need a skin suit. So Alpaca Wool will give us 56 insulation against cold, which is good. Devil Strand will give us 40, so Alpaca Wool. Would definitely prefer the Devil Strand, but we are in the middle of an ice sheet, so I think staying warm is probably better than the heat resist. Now for helmets, they don't really have a massive amount, so let's just go for a Security Force helmet and then a Security Armor. Yeah, we'll go for one of those as well. Now this should set our new colonist up pretty well. So he's got a big old gun, which we like. He's now got a speed suit, which we like. He's now got armor, a shield belt, and a helmet. You, sir, are going to be super duper dangerous real soon, and potentially usable. And another Asari comes in with a 50 cal and a charged pistol in recon armor with shield pop belt As for our stats, chemical fascination not great, inquisitive is not bad, careful shooter sucks, slowpoke sucks, clumsy sucks, great memory isn't, actually great memory is amazing, and bisexual, because that's pretty much a trait that every Asari has. I think I've only seen 2 that don't have that trait. As for the stats, not great, so drop all your kit. And some decent supplies as well, so medicine, obviously not bad, simple meals, not bad, and Sabo rounds on the 50, and a bunch of 6x18 charge. I'm really looking forward to the Asari playthrough, that is for sure. And then see you later, you're now banished. What's that? Paddock really didn't like them. Shame. Put all of those things into the home zone, and I reckon we just sell them off, which give us a little bit more money. And yet again, already through our components, so let's get another 20 and hope we can get a fabrication bench up and going pretty soon. At 303, those advanced components are not worth it. So still managed to earn a profit of 145, which seems pretty decent. And Manrith, are you going to equip your kit or not? And next question is, where have you put it? Okay, all up here. Amazing. Oh, it turns out we didn't use those 20 components. They were just left where we couldn't get them. Forswear, 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 equip, and then prioritize hauling. Cool. Infested ship chunk module. Is that one of the big ones? Yep, cool. Which means that there is going to be a queen in here. And we all know how much Solarians like insect meat, so if we can do it properly. Actually no, it won't work because there's no food on the ice sheet. Oh no, we've still got caribous and stuff. I'm not too sure, but what I'm thinking is we go in, shoot that, kite back, take out all of the little critters, leave the queen alive, and hopefully the queen then goes and spawns a whole bunch more little larvae, and then they all grow up, and then we can just farm them. So we would have a pretty continuous supply of insect meat, which Solarians really like, and soon, hopefully, we will then be able to have someone that can cook, so we're not eating raw meat. And with that, I think that's a good place to wrap up the episode, so thank you very much for watching the ice sheet. I've been Konzi. I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.